Hello. We're changing a different angle tonight. So today was a long day. So I'm gonna do a talk and vlogging. We did a live in Okinawa, so anytime we do Sundays, I look terrible. I look so dirty, and it's because I am. I went a lot of places. Went to the beach, modeled some of our Ryukyu outfit. We went to a fall. We didn't hike, but there's like a place we could go to where there's a fall. You could pay like 200 yen to just go look at water falling down. It was really pretty. Or make it seem like it's not, but it's only because I'm tired. But I got home and a surprise waiting for me from my dad's sister from Idaho. And I was not expecting this, but now it's all like tied. Now it's all like, she sent me these charms and it's like kind of like a mess now. I kind of have to detangle it. But apparently in this middle charm, here we go, this one right here, according to her, the letter she wrote has some locks of my dad's hair in it. When my dad passed away, he wanted to be cremated, but my dad's side of the family, my grandparents, they're Mormons, and they don't believe in cremation. So, because my dad didn't leave a will, he got buried, even though everybody knew that he wanted to be cremated. And it was very devastating for me. But my stepmom, her sister, who is kind of a beautician, and she also tends to do like beauty work for, or makeup work for people who have deceased, she offered to go to the funeral home and cut some locks of my dad's hair for me. And I didn't want to lose it, so I gave it to my aunt for safekeeping. I actually don't know if she remembers that's how we got the hair, but that's how we did. And she was very kind enough to put a lock of his hair in this charm, I believe. I think. I don't know. It doesn't open, so I think it's just locked in there. It looks like. I think it. Oh, it turns. Oh, it is in there. My dad's hair. You know, recently I've been thinking a lot about why I do what I do. Why Matt and I work so hard to build our own business from this stuff. And I think there's two reasons why. Number one is obviously monetary, being able to survive. And two is time. Now, Matt and I haven't had a job, like an actual like 9-to-5 job or just regular job, in probably like 5 or 6 years. Because for 5 or 6 years, we worked our ass off from the ground up, putting hours and hours into our own media business, getting our own clients. I remember spending like 12-hour days just calling real estate agents on the phone or cold emailing them and asking them for their business and getting hung up and getting yelled at multiple times. And I dealt with that for a while until slowly we started building a client base and slowly started building a team. And for 5 or 6 years, Matt and I paid our bills that way. Matt and I fed ourselves that way. We didn't have like an extravagant life. It's kind of hard to do in California. But we built a life. You know, a lot of people, when they think about like business owners and entrepreneurs, they think of people who are chasing this like extravagant lifestyle of having this mansion and up in like Beverly Hills and having private jets and like a slew of fancy cars and luxury cars like Aston Martins and Lamborghinis. And if I ever get to a point where I'm wealthy enough to afford that, I'm not saying I won't partake in it. But I can guarantee you most people who start businesses or become entrepreneurs or start YouTube channels, that's not most of their main goals. Most of the people just want to be able to make a living doing something they love. Can't believe this has his hair in it. So, I'm a little frustrated right now. More at myself than anybody. Because tomorrow and Tuesday, Matt and I have an 8-hour meeting. Both days. So, 16 hours total in the next 2 days. And Tuesday is his birthday. So we'll be all in a meeting all day then. And tomorrow, because of how the week was going to go, and it also happened to be a day off for my mom, and we all know how rare that is for my mom to have kind of like, I mean, she's still going to go to work, but she doesn't have to go until later. So we were going to do Thanksgiving. I ordered $120 worth of meals from Chris's work because they're doing a holiday meal thing. And I'm going to be stuck in a meeting for 8 hours when I could be spending Thanksgiving with my mom. Fuck. Oh, and I'm so frustrated and mad at myself because 5 or 6 years ago, I remember Matt and I had to miss a major holiday with his family because we had to work. And I remember that was the year before we started our own business. And I remember we were so fed up with having other people control our time that we said, this is the last year that we're going to miss another holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday. And that's one of the reasons why we started our business, media business, because we wanted our own time. You know, it's when Matt and I started our business, it wasn't really about the money that we were looking for. It was the time, the opportunity, being able to be in control of our own time, to be able to spend holidays with the people that we loved without having to worry about clocking into somebody else's business. And the only reason I was able to see my dad 2 weeks before he passed away was because I worked my ass off and saved enough money and was able to control my time to take time off to go see him. I remember at the time when my dad died, Matt was actually still working for Home Depot, and I remember his mom was calling him and saying, you know, you should come back because you're gonna get fired. And I remember Matt was like, kid's dad just died. Like, who gives a fuck about this job when my girlfriend's father is literally in the bottom of the lake somewhere? And we're like in the middle of trying to find his body. And I'm frustrated with myself because I put myself in a position where I got complacent. I took advantage of what I've built, and I got greedy, and I got egotistical, and I thought nothing could tear me down, and I got knocked down a peg or two in life. Because I got lazy. This last year of working for other people has humbled me quite a bit. Because for a long time, I haven't had to answer to anybody. In fact, I had people answering to me. And I haven't had to follow anybody else's schedule. If somebody, I never had anybody tell me you're clocking in at 5 and you're leaving when the job's done. Never had that. Because for the last 5 or 6 years, I was able to make my own schedule. If I needed a day off, I could take it. But I messed up. And I failed. And now I'm back at ground zero. Building everything from scratch again. But that's the thing is like, people sometimes ask us why we do what we do. They think it's, the money, the luxury that we're after, but it really isn't. It's being able to just afford the basic living, not having to worry about being homeless like we almost were a few times. Not worrying about where our next meal is going to come from. Rationing off dollar store meals just to fill an empty belly. Not being able to say yes to families or friends who want to see us. It's like my goals now are so different. It's to be able to qualify for something simple as a $480 a month apartment and not being worried about whether we're going to qualify or not. Or being able to one day tell my mom to shut down her business because I got her now. That I'm gonna take care of her like I wanted to take care of my dad. Matt and I are just I think that Matt and I work hard because we want that freedom of time. We want to be able to spend time with the people we love when we want to spend time with them. We want to help them out. We want to be able to afford a place to live. And we could do that with a job. I could find a career that pays well. But then I'd be sacrificing time for money. So we're working to have both. And that's hard to build. A balance of both. My gosh, it's so hot in here. But, you know, like the other day after I saw that 3-bedroom apartment and I had to go into work, my grandpa that day was throwing up. And my uncle had just gotten done having surgery on his right eye. And my mom asked me if there was any way that I could stay home from work, and I was like, I can't. My work was in a particularly rough spot that day, and I couldn't take the day off. But I'm not mad at my job, you know, like I'm actually really grateful for the job that I have. I love the people that I work with. I mean, I don't like the job itself. I mean, slinging chicken into a container is not an ideal or glorious job, but I'm very fortunate to work with the people that I work with. They're amazing, amazing, and I'm so glad that I was able to meet them. But it's moments like 2 days ago when my grandpa was sick and my uncle had just gotten out of surgery, or tomorrow when my mom, I would have had an opportunity to spend the first Thanksgiving with my mom that I haven't had a chance to spend in 10 years, or to celebrate Matt's birthday. Those are the moments that remind me why I do what I do. Because of that freedom of time, of choice. Time is so finite, and every second, every moment counts. And when you're sitting there slinging chicken in a container, you can't help but feel like, man, I could be doing something more memorable with the time that I have left and the time that other people have left on this earth. But at the end of the day, there's nobody else to blame but myself. I put myself in this position. I put myself in a position where I have to be where I am right now. If I had worked hard when I had the opportunity 5-6 years ago, I could have been in a much different spot. But I don't want to look back 10 years from now and see myself now and think then that I should have worked hard now when I had the chance. I'm taking that chance, and I'm taking that opportunity now. You know, I made a video once about not having any regrets, but if I did have a regret, that would be it. That I had started sooner, and that I didn't fuck around like I did, and actually took it seriously and had built something and worked hard and stuck to something long enough that it became something that could have benefited me. And I didn't. Even after all the times that I cried about not being able to be there for a family member, or see my dad, or having my dad and my grandma teach me the value of time after they passed away. Even then, it's so easy to just get complacent with life and take for granted the time that we have. It wasn't until this year that I really started to value all the moments and opportunities that I had, and realize how much of it I squandered away. But ruminating about the past and regretting it doesn't really fix anything. So I just have to take that as a learning experience and move forward and just make sure that I don't make the same mistake. That's why Matt and I work as hard as we do now. That's why even after working 8 hours a day at our job, 8 to 10 hours a day at our job, we come home and work another 8 hours more on our own stuff, no matter how tired we are, because this is the opportunity that we're given to do what we want to do. And every time, and I don't know, I was thinking about that a lot, and then I got this from my aunt, and I wasn't even expecting it. I wasn't expecting to see this. I didn't even know she was doing this. I wish she could have seen it. What I was trying to do, what I'm trying to do now. I wish I could have done more for him while he was still here. And I wish I could do more for my mom while she's still here. But I'm not gonna make that same mistake again. I'm gonna work hard. Regardless of how crazy it seems. Regardless of how it seems like most of the time I'm just running on hope. One of the things I've always been blessed with is that I've always had the support of my parents. No matter what I did, they believed in me. They believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and that's something not a lot of people can say they had. Most people aren't as lucky as I am to have two parents support you in pursuing something that most people would think is absolutely batshit crazy. And I owe it to them. I owe it to them. And I owe it to myself. And I owe it to my future kids. Okay. Anyways, thank you for listening. Sorry. I just wasn't expecting this, and everything I've been feeling these last couple days just kept pouring out. I do what I do for money, yes, because it is a business. I'm trying to build a business. But it's not for anything like crazy. It's because I don't want moments like this to just slide out of my fingers again. I want to be there for these precious moments. I want to have the time. That's why. Okay, I gotta take a shower because I smell like I crawled out of somebody's ass. I smell so bad. But thank you guys for listening. I love you guys so much. Sorry for this weird video, but I needed to do a video diary vlog. I love you guys so much. You know I do, and I appreciate you guys for being in my life. I can't do any of the things that I do without you guys. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Peace. Bye.